So you're either watching this video because you're an agent or leader in PHP and you want to get reacclimated with our comp and our wealth equity program, or you're somebody that's watching and hearing all the news about PHP and what is going on with PHP. They just almost have 3,000 people at their big event, and they went from 66 agents in 2010 to now 3,200 licensed agents in nearly 49 states. We have one state left, which is Montana. Did this really happen with PHP? Are they really offering an equity program? I thought the round was first round and round two, and they're no longer offering equity. But rumor has it that they're offering equity. Is it true? Is it not? And I'm here to tell you, as a CEO of PHP agency, Patrick Bay David, I'm giving you the comp. So whatever rumors you're hearing about out there, I'm telling you exactly what we're doing with our compensation plan in 2017, and why is it that so many people are talking about us and making moves to want to come on board with PHP. I'm going to do that for you here today. I want you to understand a couple of things here. We are not the biggest today. We are not. We only have 3,200 agents around the country, and we are looking for leaders to take over marketplace. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. When a Matt and Sheena Sapala came, and they came out of Oak Brook, and now they have the market of Oak Brook in Chicago. They're going to be crossing over $1 million anytime now. Their first year with PHP, I think they made 160. Their second year, they made 750. And they're about to cross $1 million anytime in the next couple months. They wanted to take the market over in Chicago, Oak Brook area, so they open up an office and other offices open up. They saw opportunity. There was a market, right? When different leaders in our company decided to move to other offices, maybe a Jason Graziani moved to Dallas, he saw an opportunity because he wanted that market. Or a Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas moved to Houston, Texas. Last month, we paid them $175,000 in a month because they wanted a market. Houston is now considered the number 3 top city, metropolitan city in America, 3.8 million people. They just passed Chicago, I think 3 months ago. Number 2 is LA, and number 1 is obviously New York, because they saw a market, they saw an opportunity. There are a lot of people watching us that want new markets, and you may be watching us for that simple reason, saying, wait a minute, what about me? I'm out of Virginia. What about me? I'm out of DC. I'm out of Pennsylvania. I want to market. What about me? I'm out of Ohio. I want to market. I want to go out there and get something. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm in Seattle. I'm in Phoenix. I want to market. We're looking for leaders to want to come play with us. And if you do it right, I will tell you why we launched this wealth equity program. So for me, I have a few things. When I was in a former company, I worked at Morgan Stanley Dean. When I was at Transamerica, there are things I liked about the way they did. There are things I didn't like. Obviously, I learned a lot, but I always thought about one thing. If there could be a company that we could create, that we could attract the hardest working, talented people who want to work today, because there are certain compensation plans that attracts people that worked 20 years ago, but they're not working today. We want players today. Let me explain. The NBA has a lot of respect for Michael Jordan, a lot of respect for Bill Russell, a lot of respect for a lot of these players in the past. Magic Johnson, I just interviewed him a couple months ago. They got a lot of respect for these players. But if you're building a team today, you want the best guys today. You want the best gals today. That's all we're looking for. So we wanted to create a company that attracts the best talent. And to do that, because we are not the biggest yet, it is so important to us on the type of a program we put together for you that you walk around saying, I am part of the greatest company in the life insurance industry. And we may not be the biggest today, but we're guaranteed going to be fighting for that spot because it matters to our company on how much they take care of us. And you'll see by the time I'm done here with this, what I mean by that. And anything I talk about here with you, I'm not talking about trips. We're about to take our guys' next trip is Cancun, then we're going to Croatia, then we're going to Greece, then we're going to Venice. We just took them to Dubai. We just took people to Aspen. We just took people to Costa Rica, to Hawaii, to all the Caribbean islands, you name them. We just rented a private jet, 18-passenger private jet. And right after the big event, we went to the jet. We went to Vegas. We stayed at all these places at the Palms Resort, all the way at the top, $35,000 a night. And then we went out. We had a good time at Omnia with Tiesto. We have a young, hippie, different type of an environment. So for instance, you may see some of our leaders when you go to their meetings, they may have tennis shoes on and a suit. If you go to the Oak Brook office today, do not be surprised if Matt Sapala comes up with a suit and Jordans on. And you may see this at a lot of different offices. If you go to Bakersfield office, you may see a guy named Alejandro Aguilar sleeved up here, former oil worker, completely sleeved up. One of the nicest guy you'll ever meet, who's so competitive and he gets emotional about wanting to win for his mom, his dad, his new wife, and his kid, and he doesn't look like somebody who'd be in the life insurance industry, right? So point I'm trying to make to you is we have a different flavor. We have a different culture. We're not like everybody else out there. And you get a feel that when you come to our company events and you experience with us. And if you go on trips with us and you travel with us, oh my gosh, it's going to be, you'll have memories for the rest of your life to tell somebody one day. So let's get right into the compensation plan and what we're talking about today. One, I'll go through the comp, then I'll go through the Great Equalizer Bonus Program, which has created so much sizzle in the industry. And you'll find out why a Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas in 1 month got paid nearly $80,000 of bonus on top of their $95,000 that they made that month. We paid them another $80,000 that month. They made $175,000 nearly in 1 month because of Great Equalizer Bonus Program. I'll explain that to you. And then we'll talk about our vesting, when you get vested with us, and then pure equity, because there's a lot of great companies out there in the life insurance and the financial industry. I'm representing this industry, and to me it's very important to know that I'm proud to represent this industry, but also our goal isn't to just fit in within the industry. Our goal is to make sure we create a certain company and a certain environment, a certain compensation plan that is above and beyond the industry standard today, and that's what we're aiming to do. So typically if you work for a company, let's just say you work for a major life insurance company, maybe a Northwestern Mutual or New York Life or some of those guys, there'll be certain criteria you'll have to get vested. And it's not the easiest to get vested. And vesting is something you gotta work for. There's certain criteria that you need to do to get paid or how their compensation plan works. In PHP, not only can you get vested, not only can you sell your code number, but at the same time, you can also own a piece of the company. So if one day we go public or get acquired or get bought, you participate in that as well, on top of the Great Equalizer, on top of the compensation plan, on top of all that stuff combined together. So everybody in PHP starts off at the trainee position. From there, if in your first 30 days you get 3 new associates, 3 new families helped, and you write $3,000 of target premium, you move up from trainee to associate, it's 40%. Then FA, field associate, you need to get 10 new business partners, 10 policies written, and 10,000 target premium. You go to field associate, that's 50%. And then the next level is director. Director is 25 new associates, 25 apps written, and $25,000 in target premium. You go to director, that's 60%. And then the premier position with our company is marketing director. The way you become a marketing director in a 90-day period, you need 50 new business partners, 50 policies written, 100,000 target premium, 15 licensed agents, 3 direct field associates you promote, or 1 direct director, 1 direct FA. When you do that, you move up from 60% to 75%, which is the position you want to be. That's when you become a broker. If in real estate standards it's considered broker, this is when you become a broker with PHP. And then from there on, you get compensated based on leadership development and how many people you can help become marketing directors in this business. So the next position is senior marketing director. It becomes very simple. You need to promote 2 marketing directors, do 100 new associates recruited, 100 policies written, 200,000 target premium. You need 60 licensed agents. And if you do that, you become a senior marketing director. You move up from 75% to 77%. Next position is EMD. Again, quite simple. You double the numbers. 200 new business partners, 200 apps, 400,000 points, 4 direct MDs, 120 licensed agents. You get 1 additional percent bonus. Now you're at 78%. Then you become a senior vice president. It's a very, very big deal when you become a vice president with us. You need to do 300, 300, 600, 180 licensed agents. You promote 6 direct marketing directors. You move up 1 more percent, 79%. Then it's executive vice president, which is 400, 400, 800,000 in 90 days. You need 8 direct marketing directors and you need 240 licensed agents. You become an executive vice president. From there on, you move into the council positions. There's 2 positions there, president's council, chairman's council. A president's council is $500, $1 million in 90 days. And then you have chairman's council, which is the highest position in the company. That's when you need to do 600, 600, $1.2 million in 90 days. You need 600 licensed agents and you need 12 direct marketing directors. Now you're at 82% comp within our company, not including all the other things that you have out there. So that's just the simple compensation plan. Now let me transition into the other part, which is what happens if you build a marketing director who goes out there and opens up his own office 2 hours away from you, and then the next person opens up his own office. What happens to the next folks? So here's how simple our comp plan is. If you are at 75% minimum, you're a marketing director, you promote Bobby. Bobby goes out there and becomes a marketing director as well. He's at 75%, and Bobby says, I'm going to go and open up my own office. You, on whatever Bobby does, make 10%. So if Bobby places $50,000 a target premium in his base shop, you make 10% minimum. That's $5,000, okay? Now, if Bobby goes out there and promotes Jackie to marketing director, now you make 5% off of Jackie. Then it goes 4, 3, 1, 1, 1. We pay 7 generations of override on marketing directors in PHP. To recap, 10%, 5%, 4%, 3%, 1, 1, 1 on last generations is what we pay. So that's generational override. So now, let's move on to the Great Equalizer bonus program and what this has done to the entire marketplace and why everybody is talking about the Great Equalizer bonus program and why does it pay as much as it does? How can we pull this off, Pat? You know, you announced this, and this is why rumors have been started that maybe Pat came from money and Pat's an oil guy, and this is why Pat can afford. And listen, we're getting the most random rumors, but I'm going to tell you why we've chosen to do the Great Equalizer bonus program. We have investors that invested in our company from Silicon Valley. You see, we may be an insurance company, but Silicon Valley, the folks who invested with us, they're purely a technology play company. So they only invest in technology companies. We're the only one that's a life insurance company they invested in. And the reason why they did is because we have certain technologies that we use that no one else in the market has, no one else in the entire industry has. We have a certain app that everybody in the market wants, but we own it. It's our app that our field gets to use with a certain communication style that if one of the marketing directors shares it with you, you will look at it and say, I've never seen anything like this before. Costs a lot of money to make, but we put our money into it. So now let's get into the Great Equalizer bonus program. Why are we doing the Great Equalizer bonus program? Why do we even call it the Great Equalizer bonus program? The reason why I gave this name to it was the following name. Let me tell you what the Great Equalizer name comes from. Many, many years ago, when the gun was invented, it was called, it's the Great Equalizer. Why? Because a 5'2" girl who's 110 pounds can fight anybody who's the toughest guy, and she can take out a gun and shoot, and it doesn't matter how big the other person is. It's the Great Equalizer. I don't care how much muscles you got, because this ties you up. As big as you are and as small as I am, you don't want to fight me, because I can compete against you. The Great Equalizer bonus program was structured in a way because typically what you'll see in a lot of companies, our competitors, is these big guys have such big businesses and they've been around for 20 years, 30 years that it's so hard to compete against them, and they get all the compensation because it's so top heavy. So the comp plan benefits them. It doesn't benefit the people who are trying to come up. That's why we put this. So let me simplify it for you how this works. Say you become a marketing director with us, because that's the minimum position you need to be able to do to participate in the Great Equalizer bonus program. You become a marketing director with us. When you become an MD, in any month, it needs to be a calendar period month, you're at 75%. If your base shop does 10 new business partners, 10 new policies, $25,000 of target premium, you get a 10% bonus on top of your 75%, which means now you are 85%, okay? Now, if you do 25 new business partners, 25 apps, 50,000 points, that's level number 2. We give you a 15% bonus. So now it's not 75%. Now you're making a 90% contract on business, and your override gets overridden at 90%. Then we have level 3. It goes up to 5 levels. Level 3, if you do 50 new business partners, 50 policies written, $100,000 of target premium, level 3 pays 25%. Let me explain to you what 25% means. 25% means on top of your 75%, that's 100%. Let me explain to you what happens here. Foresters is one of our core carriers. Foresters has a simplified issue product that's very popular with us because they get the policy approved within 30 minutes in many cases. We are paying 115% to the field, and they're advancing 100% because that's what we've arranged with them to you. So this means if you hit that level bonus and the policy is $2,000 target for a year, you're going to make 115% of that. Foresters is going to advance us 100% of that. And because you hit 100% bonus on level 3 grade equalizer, you're going to make the entire thing paid up to you up front. That's what that means. That's how big it is. One of our relationship with National Life Group, they have a very popular index universal life policy that's a Flex Life IUL. And that product, we are currently paying 105% to the field, but they have chosen, because we spoke to them about it, and it's arrangement with PHP and PHP only, they're advancing 100%. Let me say it again, 100% of 105%. If you were at 100%, you're making the whole target premium up front. That's what this means. This is why people are making the kind of money today that they've never made before. Many are quadrupling, quintupling their income of last year because they're cracking into the Great Equalizer Bonus Program. But it doesn't end there. Let's go to level 4. Level 4, if you do 100 base recruits, 100 apps, and you do $200,000 of target premium in a calendar month, now we're paying you a 35% bonus on top of your 75%. You're at 110%. So last month, Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas hit level 4. That is why they made nearly $80,000 of bonus in a single month, and we paid them $175,000 in a single month. This is a couple, husband and wife, who moved from Palmdale, California to Houston, Texas, not knowing anybody in Houston, Texas, and they drove their car all the way down with their little popcorn machine and 2 bags, and their 2 lovebirds from El Salvador. They were in their 20s when they moved. I think they're 30 years old or 31 years old when we paid them this $175,000 in a month and the nearly $80,000 bonus just because they went to level 4. Now here's level 5. No one has yet hit level 5, and level 5 is a very, very big deal. It's 150 recruits, 150 policies written, 300,000 target premium in a single month. You know what we pay you? 45% bonus on top of your 75%. So you can essentially go from 75% to 120% comp in one single month. 120% comp. If you were to go start your own insurance companies don't give you compensation plans that big. 120% comp is what we're talking about. Now we're financing this. Some people are watching saying, how can you pay like that? It's costing us a lot of money. But our goal is to overpay our folks this year in 2017 and moving forward. For those that come out and do the right business with us, we are going to overpay you in a way that no one in the entire marketplace is currently doing, and we're proud of that. So that's one thing to keep in mind with the Great Equalizer Bonus Program on how that works. So far I've covered with you our compensation plan, our Great Equalizer Bonus Program with you, the generations we pay, and how you move up in the company. Let's address vesting, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about selling your code number and buying other code numbers within company. So vesting, some companies you need to be there for 10 years to be vested, meaning if you have 1,000 policies on the books and you decide to leave, will that keep paying you? Or once you leave, you no longer get the renewals on those policies. You don't need to be with us 10 years. You don't need to be with us 5 years. You don't even need to be with us for 3 years. You need to be a field associate, which if you remember earlier when I showed the compensation plan, it's level 3. You have trainee, you have associate, you have field associate. As long as you're a field associate with us and you've been with us for 12 months, your policies will be vested with you for as long as a policy stays on the books. We'll keep paying you the renewals. Now you need to make sure your license stays on the books, you're paying your E&O, you're not doing anything that's criminal activities or anything that's fraudulent with us and stealing and poaching and doing all that other stuff. If you don't, you're constantly getting paid that renewal for the life of that policy stays on the books. And I don't know any other agency that pays their vesting the way we do at the size that we are right now. So that's the vesting part. Now, what if you want to get started with us and you say, Patrick, what if I want to sell my agency one day with PHP? Can I do that? Because I want to be able to sell my agency one day if I'm building within a company. So I don't mind coming into PHP because I don't want to spend $1 million on an app that you guys spent. I don't want to spend millions of dollars on all the technology that you guys have spent. I don't want to put the hundreds of thousands of dollars of infrastructure in place just for employees and support in a licensing department that helps your people out to get licensed, where we call 100% of people that get started with us, help them, or case managers, or all this stuff, or this multi-million-dollar operation that we put together. I don't want to spend all that, but I want to be able to know that one day I can sell my code number. Can I do that with PHP? I want to sell my agency. Yes, you can. How? Here's what the qualification is. You need to be minimum with us for 3 years. And you need to be a senior marketing director, okay? So you need to be a senior marketing director, number one. You need to be with us minimum 3 years. And each of those years, you need to make consecutive. 3 out of 5 years, you need to make $100,000 in a year. So if you got started, you become an SMD, okay? And you made $100,000 your year 1, $100,000 year 2, $100,000 year 3, minimum. You can sell your code number after that because you've done $100,000 income consecutively in 3 years. But if you're with us for 7 years, and in the last 5 years, you made $100,000 3 times, you also qualify to sell your code number as long as you're an SMD and you have 2 of your marketing directors that are active with you. And then obviously somebody's going to make the assessment on how much you're going to pay for your code number based on how many people will write business or the override outside of you. And these things get bigger because sometimes these code numbers become a chairman's council code number with 2,800 licensed agents and it's generating $193,000 a month, and someone wants to sell that code number for a couple $1 million. You can't. That's this business. You can do that. Now, what about if you say, pal, what if I'm in PHP and I become a leader and I don't want to leave, but there are people that want to leave and I want to buy code numbers? Can I do it? Yes. As long as you're a senior vice president and you're making a minimum of $250,000 a year, the year you want to buy code numbers, you're okay. You're qualified to buy code numbers. That's the agency side. So in anything I talk about here, just keep in mind, in anything I talk about here, everything pertains to those, assuming you're doing a minimum of 60% placement of your business and a minimum of 70% persistency. Those are 2 things. These are not major milestones we're talking about, but a minimum of 60% placement. So you can't just be submitting business and saying, hey, I did great equalizer, 100, 100, 200, and only $30,000 places, but you want us to pay that $35,000? That may not work out for you. It needs to be quality business. We want quality people here with us, and that's the one part we're going to do to make sure the whole thing is quality. So you do that, you can sell your agency. Now, let's go to the last one. The 2017 equity program. When this was launched at Crescent building, which is a it's the most well-known building in Dallas, Texas, Crescent. It's, we can put a picture out there for you to see exactly what it looks like. It was launched at this place with our owners. Initially it was launched in front of SVPs, and then I launched it in front of all our new owners that got qualified. We can put a picture of that as well. And when it was announced, everybody in the room was flipping out. And I'll tell you why. Because you could be watching this right now. The last guidelines, you had to really do some things to get qualified. And the first one was even harder than this one. This one today is so simple that you watching this as a brand spanking new person, by the end of the year, you could qualify for equity. And I'm talking 1% equity this year, 1% next year, 1% the following years. What we're planning on doing right now, that's roughly 1% of 250,000 shares. So what part of that 250,000 shares is going to go to you this year? I'm purely talking 2017 right now. It's a 1-year program. And here's how the wealth equity program works in 2017. So the way the wealth equity program was set up, it was set up on a point system. Let me explain to what I mean by that. You see, in the world of sports, let's just choose football, for example. If I score a touchdown, it's 6 points. If I kick an extra point, it's 1 point. If I go for a 2-point conversion, it's obviously 2-point conversion. If I kick a field goal, it's 3. If I get a safety, it's 2. Each of those behaviors scores points. Like basketball, free throw, 1 point, regular field goal, 2, 3-pointer, 3 points, right? Identical same behavior. And then at the end of the year, everybody who scored a point, we're going to tally up everyone's points, and however many points you get the percentage of your points over everybody's points combined together. Then you're in the equity program. So having said that, there are 3 behaviors that produces points for you. You choose how you want to produce points. One is base shop category. And within a base shop category, it's points, it's licensing. The other one is leadership development. How many people you help become leaders in the company. And the last category is the income category. So base shop, leadership development, and income category. Let me get right into it here with you on how this works. Let's address base shop first. If in 2017, you run a 500,000 point base shop in 2017, and you place 60% of it, okay? 60% of it you place. You run a 500,000 point base shop in 2017, you get 7 points. Let me say it again, 500,000 point base shop, you get 7 points. If you run a 1,000,000 point base shop, you get 20 points. If you run a 1.5 million point base shop, you get 35 points. And if you run a 2 million point base shop, you get 60 points going into the equity program. That's on the production side. Now let's talk about licensing. if in 2017 your MD based shop, now your entire team, this is only you as a marketing director and all your new people getting licensed. If you get 25 people licensed, you get 5 points. If you get 50 people licensed, you get 12 points. If you get 100 people licensed, you get 30 points. If you get 150 people licensed, you get 45 points. 200 people, you get 75 points. And if you get 300 people licensed in your base shop, you get 130 points is what you get in licensing points towards your entire pool. So that's base shop points and base shop licensing. Now let's talk about leadership development. So leadership development is very, very simple how it works, but I'm going to explain to you on what this means and how this thing works. Every behavior of you promoting a marketing director or a senior marketing director or an executive marketing director and up, you produce points. So for instance, if you were to promote a direct marketing director, you get 5 points. If you promote a direct marketing director, you get 5 points. For some of you that watch National Co-Leadership and you send a lot of National Co-Leaderships all over the place, if someone out of San Diego sends a National Co-Leadership to Oak Brook, the generator who sent it to Oak Brook gets 2 points. The builder who built the National Co-Leadership in Oak Brook to marketing director gets 3 points, okay? So it's 2 points generator, 3 points to the person who built. But if it's not a National Co-Leadership and you did it 100% yourself, you get the full 5 points is what you get. Next, if you promote a direct senior marketing director, you saw earlier when I said senior marketing director, it's 10 points is to you direct. Now, if it's a National Co-Leadership 50-50, that person gets 5 points, the other person gets 5 points. But if it's 100% to you, you get 10 points. The one key for that to count is the following. That senior marketing director needs to promote a minimum of 1 direct MD that got qualified in 2017, or those points don't count. Keep that part in mind. Number 3, you promote a direct EMD, same exact thing, it's 20 points. Except the EMD needs to promote 2 direct MDs. If we go to SVP, you promote a direct SVP to you, now it's 30 points. They need to promote 3 direct MDs. If you promote an EVP, it's 40 points, but they need to promote 4 direct MDs in 2017. If you promote a President's Council, it is 50 points, but they need to promote 5 direct MDs to them. And if you promote a direct Chairman's Council, highest position in the company, it is 100 points, but they need to promote 6 direct MDs to them. Here's the caveat. What if you're watching this, you recruit somebody who all of a sudden goes out there and becomes an executive marketing director themselves, and that would generate 20 points to you. But you didn't get to work this year. You stayed at marketing director. Do you get that in total 20 points? No. You only get 5 points because you're a marketing director who promoted a marketing director. You didn't get to work and build anybody else up. He became an EMD. That additional 15 points of EMD goes to the next upline who's an EMD qualified. They get the 15 points. The reason why we did this because you also need to get to work to help grow the company for you to get that additional 20 points, or else the points goes to the next person who's actually an EMD. And that goes for everybody else. So the title needs to match the title. SVP, SVP, EVP, EVP, SMD, SMD. If it's SMD, MD, it goes up to the next SMD. Hence, you get the idea how that works for the rest of the year. Now, so we talked about base shop. I talked about leadership development. Now let me explain to you how this works with income. So what do I do if I go out there and help somebody make $100,000 this year? Or what if I go out there and increase my income by 100%? Do I get any kind of points for this as well? Yes, you do. Here's how it works. For every $100,000 ring earner you produce direct to you in PHP, you get 20 points. If it's National Co-Leadership 50-50, again, 10 points, 10 points. But if it's 100% to you, you get 20 points. Now, the key is this. You need to match the same income they made. So if the direct makes 100, but you only made 78, you don't get the points. It goes to the next ring earner. You also got to get to work and get the ring as well. Now, if you develop a $250,000 earner, you get 30 points. If you develop a $500,000 earner, you get 60 points, okay? So $100,000 earners, 20 points. $250,000 earners, 30 points. $500,000 earners, 60 points. Is there a caveat there? Yes, here's a caveat. The person you develop, let's just say in 2016, that person made $93,000. But in 2017, they go up to $106,000. Does that mean you automatically get a ring earner? No. The 2016 income needs to grow by a minimum of 50%. So if somebody made $130,000 in 2016, but they make $280,000 in 2017, does that count as a $250,000 earner and you get 30 points? The answer is absolutely yes. That's how it works. The income needs to be increased by a minimum of 50 points, 50%, and you need to match their income yourself, or else it goes to the next person who matches that income to get those additional points being scored for this. Now, how about your own income? What about I increase my own income? How does this work? Very simple. As long as you make a minimum of $100,000 in 2017, and you increase your income by 50%. So if you made let's just say you made $200,000 in 2017, and in 2016, you made $80,000, which means you definitely did increase your income by 50%. You went from 80 to 200, which is an increase of $120,000. For every $10,000 that you increase, you get 1 point. So in this case, you increase your income by $120,000. That's 12 points you would get for increasing your income. So you add all this up and you'll have your total points. So many people are already watching this and saying, here's how I'm going to score the points here, here's how I'm going to score the points there, here's what I'm going to do here, here's what I'm going to do there, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to work and making sure they grow their businesses in 2017. So I want to give you a couple things for you to be thinking about as an example. So what is my minimum qualification for me to participate in the Wealth Equity Program in 2017? You got to have a couple things in place. One, you got to be a minimum of a marketing director by the end of the year, 2017. Two, you need to make a minimum of $50,000 to participate. Now, you could be an MD and you could make $50,000 and still not get any equity because you did not score any points. You could do that and still not score any points, so you won't get any equity. So minimum is a marketing director and minimum is $50,000 in income. So here's an example. John does the following behaviors. Let's see how many points John gets out of everybody, okay? John promoted 3 direct MDs. If you remember earlier, a direct MD gives you 5 points, so 5 times 3 is 15 points. John promoted a direct EMD in 2017, and he also became an EMD. So if you remember that, that generates 20 points. So John now has 15 points from the MDs and 20 points from the EMD for a total of 35 points. John ran a 600,000 point base shop and he placed 60% of it minimum. That's another 7 points that he would get for running a minimum of a 500,000 point base shop. John built a direct $250,000 earner. John gets an additional 30 points for doing that. John increased his income from $160,000 in 2016 to $300,000 in 2017. He increased his income by 140. That gives him 1 point per 10,000. That's 14 points. That's another 14 points he gets right there. If you add that up, that's a total of 86 points that John scored. If the entire company, total company, scored 1,200 points, 86 divided by 1,200 points, it's 7.16%. You get 7.16% of the 250,000 shares that will be given to you at the end of the year. Once you qualify, everything is shown, you'll be invited to a leadership meeting, which is an epic meeting when we have these, and you'll get your ownership document delivered to you. But this is how the point system works. And I share this with you for a couple of reasons as you're watching this. I want to tell you a couple things here. The accounting firm we work with is one of the best, biggest accounting firms in America. The reason why we work with them is because we want to make sure everything that we do here is done properly. Yes, we spend a little bit more money on our accountants, but we do it because we want to make sure the company is protected. The law firm that we use, we have 3 different law firms that we use. You can look them up. One of them is Denton, very, very well known. Our attorney, they range between $960 an hour to $1,200 an hour. But you're talking about the best attorney in America, first place, above everybody. This is a very, very well-known attorney, is our attorney. And the other law firm that we use is Cooley. Cooley Law Firm is who will give you the shares. If you want to go online and type in Cooley Law Firm, you will see that Cooley was instrumental and participated in Google, Facebook, many of these companies that are well-known going public. And Cooley is a powerful, powerful company. I think last year they got roughly, just from retainers and fees, I think it was roughly $900 million that they got from that. It's a very big law firm. So your paperwork, you will see Cooley Law Firm being handed to you. And that's something to be very proud of when you do get it as you qualify for the equity program. Look, as you watch this, If you're somebody that's never been in the industry, you're probably going to say, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. I don't even know all these numbers here. And I'm not even a number person. Honestly, you don't need to be a number person. What I will tell you is sit down with your marketing director and have them put a plan of action together for you, because the simplest behavior you need to do to participate in this is become a marketing director, promote a marketing director, and make sure you make $50,000 this year. Everybody watching this should be running for that. It's not a difficult thing to do. But if you're watching this yourself and you're saying, let me tell you something, man, no one knows I'm watching this video. You know who you are. No one knows I'm watching. If they find that I'm watching this video, people will be very upset with me, because let's just say you're a player somewhere, hypothetically. But you've been watching Valuetainment, you follow everything that we do, you follow all our videos secretly watch everything we do. And it's almost as if you know for a fact you're an engineer at Yahoo. And you know Yahoo is not doing anything. They don't have a vision for what they want to do, because the big guys at the top have already made their money and they're very good at golf. You know how you know we're the ones in the game? Just come and play golf with us. It's so embarrassing and pathetic. You'll walk away saying, my gosh, these guys definitely are not golfing or practicing their swing. They must be working. Any insurance company you go to, when the guys are already golfing very, very well, you know what it tells you? They don't work a lot. They golf a lot. We work. We want to develop something very special that's written about in the history books. So if you're watching this and you're telling yourself, man, I see all this stuff with these guys, what they're doing. I'm running a big base shop right now, but I don't get that additional 35% bonus. What if I did that in You're telling me they're going to give me this kind of a bonus? Yes. And they're young. The average agent in the company is a 33, 34-year-old Hispanic female? Yes. And the CEO is a minority? Yeah, most companies you look at, everybody at the top is just Caucasian. I see everybody here, Hispanic, Asian, Caucasian, African American, Middle Eastern, Russian. This looks like America to me, because quite frankly, you're probably thinking right now, most of these insurance companies and financial companies, they don't look like America. Most of these financial companies look like North Dakota, if you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't look like LA. You go into LA, any ethnicity you want to see, it's in LA. You go to Chicago, everybody's out. You go to Miami, everybody's out. You go to Dallas, everybody's out. You go to New York, everybody's out there. We are America, is what we are. We are really America. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care about all that other stuff that you got going on. You may need to put to look and all this other stuff. We look for this. If you got this thing here and you're willing to work hard and you're a good person, meaning you do the right things, you're not trying to take shortcuts, beat the system, any of that stuff, because we will find that out. But if you're a good person willing to work hard and you want to go out there and be a leader in a company that's growing in ways that everybody else is talking about around the country, around the world, then we're the ones to be a part of. And by the way, if you're watching and saying, man, getting excited, this is the part where we all learn about your courage. You. It could be 1 o'clock in the morning while you're watching this. I'm talking to you. You know this makes sense to make the move, but you're afraid. I understand. Most people are. Most people are afraid to want to make a move like that. But I know one thing for a fact. If you are seeking to just want to be part of a Yahoo, you stay where you're at. If you're seeking to just be part of something that's very safe and small, safe and big and everything is good and like living under mommy and daddy and everything's going to be safe for you, you stay where you're at. If you want to play, you want to roll up your sleeve, and you want to make tens of millions of dollars, but you also want the history books to write about you, where you were part of the most incredible movement in the financial and the life insurance industry in a way that no other company did it with social media marketing, and we turned you into heroes. Or just last big event that we had 35-foot banners of our leaders at the convention center. People came and looked at the banners like this, because you had to do it this way. Everybody looked at it like this. Oh my gosh, that's 3.5 stories. That's what we're going to do to you. The world's going to know about the people that come to PHP and take this company to the next level, because I can tell you right now, you matter so much to us. This is why we created the way we did. You matter so much to us that we wanted to create a company that people came here and they wanted to run with us. They're going to say, I'm so proud to be part of PHP, man. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Now, we want your fight. We want your work ethic. We don't like people coming and saying, well, if you do this, this, this. If you want to roll up your sleeves and get to work, you ain't going to find a better organization to be running with a better quality group of people. Anywhere across the country, just go look at our leaders' eyes. You'll feel it. You'll see it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, having said that, I just covered with you the compensation plan, the Great Equalizer bonus program, vesting, how to sell your code number, and our equity program. And now, while you're looking at this, if you're an associate, master how to present this and get this on the back of your head and go out and get as much equity as you can. And if you're somebody that's watching this saying, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Contact the person that shared this video with you and ask, I want to speak with your marketing director right away. Set up a time to get on a call with that marketing director. And if you're somebody already a player that's already making 6 figures or $250,000 or more, ask to speak with the senior marketing director, executive marketing director, or possibly the senior vice president, because we're looking for players. We're looking for talent. We're looking for hardworking people who got the right thing here, right here, that want to go out there and play big. With that being said, I'm glad you got some clarity on our compensation plan, our wealth equity program. I look forward to seeing you have the courage to make the right decision for you and meeting you personally at one of our big events coming very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.